Why was there bacon in the soup?
I made it myself!
Think about the things you could have accomplished during COVID. Think about the kind of things everybody who didn't get tied to a job, all those bastards like me who got laid off or who ended up having a job that gave them a significant amount of downtime. Mm-hmm. Think about the shit they all could have accomplished. Like, think about the things we could have done.
Think about that, but the messaging that was provided on like the Twitter sphere was, hey,
it's going to be over tomorrow.
Need to be productive right now. You're going through a global pandemic, and that's unprecedented. So go ahead and sit on the couch and eat Doritos 3D. You don't have to like actually accomplish anything. And it's like, no, you're right, you don't. But telling people like, no, trust me, it's self-care to just sit on the couch and wear a groove into it is kind of fucked.
Cool. We're turning the corner. It's going to be we're turning the corner. It's going to be next week. It's just going to be next week. You'll be outside hanging out, getting ice cream, skipping rocks. Trying to gin up support for my political podcast. I go fight crazies on Twitter, and I got to tell you, it has given me zero faith in the world. I have no faith in humanity anymore. Because think about it. Every single person on Twitter is like, you think that their crazy view represents just them, but they heard that shit from somewhere. So there's like 10, 20, 30, 40. There's a ton of people. It's 300 million people in America alone, and Twitter is not just an American thing. You know, so there's potentially thousands upon thousands of absolutely deranged people who are out there believing the crazy crap that you're reading on places like Twitter. Oh, did you know that Donald Trump is actually the real president and very soon America is going to find out? You're like, what the fuck does that mean?
Well, that's all of QAnon.
Yeah.
But like what these people don't realize is the same thing about
Ron
QAnon
Watkins
applies to Marvel. These movies don't accomplish anything. QAnon doesn't accomplish anything.
It's just entertaining.
It's just setting up for the next thing down the line. Oh, the big thing's coming. Thanos is coming. Donald Trump's Day of the Rope is coming. Like,
and then he comes, Endgame comes along, and they're like, well, now we got his aftermath. It's just sit here in the wake.
The Young Avengers will take 9 movies to build to that. Oh, Q has resurfaced on a server from fucking Panama.
Listen, if they make Avenger babies, I am definitely going to resubscribe to Disney Plus.
Actually, you know what, Rory?
I would ask, oh, look at little baby Thor.
Oh,
he's so cute.
His hammer's the same size as him.
I don't understand how this works chronologically. I thought he was a god who was older than them by thousands of years, but oh, look at him. He's so sweet.
Oh, Baby Vision just killed the fucking babysitter with his laser eyes.
Where did Iron Man come up with that little baby suit? Why does he have the what? None of this works.
It's just a metal diaper.
And he poops in it, and then it becomes the suit. That's terrible.
That's great.
But I would absolutely, I'd watch it.
But they literally don't do anything. They just pose in their little costumes.
Well, that's what I did over COVID. Was I watched everything.
Yeah.
I watched it all, good, bad. I watched pretty much everything. And or at least a little bit of every genre, and there's some bad stuff out there. I guess I should have like bicycle repair. That sounds like fun. Good repair a bike. Some weird thing expanded like my understanding of physics. Nope. Or I watched all the Marvel movies twice.
You could have watched like all of Truffaut and all of Jean-Luc Godard and learned something. You could have become an expert on the French New Wave.
I could have studied, Brechtian scripture, I could have
taught yourself that fucking banjo.
Yeah, I could have the opposite way. Yeah. Except my parents would have killed me.
Fuck them. That's my official position. Fuck parents.
Pang, pang, pang.
Yeah, but you learn an instrument in like a week every time you pick it up.
I learned how to play the banjo, and I noticed that my dad learned how to polish his gun. He also picked up saying the word soon. Soon. Just in the corner, sitting there polishing his gun. Real high sheen.
Yeah. Should we do the rest of this podcast as Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama?
Which one of us is Barack Obama?
Me. You know.
Okay,
me.
there you go. And I just be Bruce
because he has I can do a tasteful impression of him.
I don't think you can.
You want to hear a fun fact? In college,
not this time.
Total fiction. In college, we had to do these like stage debate things, and they were through two time periods.
Yeah.
And I had to be Charles II when we did the restoration, and I had to be Barack Obama. And there was a black guy in the class. And I'm like, what the fuck?
What? Yeah. Well, then is it unfair for them to be like, oh, the one black guy in the class gets to play Barack Obama?
I don't think so, because representation is a big thing. And I think you go like, it's probably important for you to represent the first black president in this country.
Was he asked?
Not at all. She just assigned these things. And I'm just
pulled
like,
them out of a hat.
What the fuck?
So how'd that go down?
I'm pretty sure like Newt Gingrich is in here. Why don't you just let me be him? I look the part.
Oh, great. That's the meanest thing you've ever said about yourself.
Well, we can do worse.
That's what you say, but that one's pretty harsh.
Long story short, I'm Obama. You're Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, but there was this time I was out in New Jersey and I was about to play a show and we did the show.
Interesting. Reminds me of my slogan for America, which is we should love a little harder, learn a little more about each other, rock all night long, and drive as drunk as possible. Like you did, Bruce, in your Jeep.
And party every day. Have you listened to their podcast?
Fuck no.
I've not listened to it at all. I don't understand. Why? Why you gotta have a podcast?
It's the moment that jumped the shark. It didn't burst the podcast bubble, but it definitely brought it to a critical mass.
Yeah, and I'm sure they get a ton of people listening. I bet you the stories are interesting. Of course they are. It's the president and Bruce Springsteen, or former president, and talking about the crazy things they did.
I disagree. I'm sure it's not interesting.
What if there's like exchanging like apple pie recipes and stuff? Oh, that sounds a little cinnamon, you say? Just
What if they're just doing what we do?
Just bullshit.
They're just doing the Skimbo Lounge. Like, what if you had like a tiny Avengers thing?
Except we always talk about the kind of things that we like can't accomplish or can't like. What would you do if they can definitely go do that?
But that's
stuff.
the point. Their podcast isn't about the things they can accomplish. It's about the things they just choose not to accomplish.
Hey, Barack, wonder what it'd be like to be poor, and then they both have a good hearty laugh.
They just drink child blood out of a highball glass. No one's monitoring. No one's listening to this shitty podcast. They're getting away with everything.
Did they do it on video?
I think so.
Video? I was like, no one can see this at home. As they just sit there.
I'm pretty sure it's a Spotify original, and they had to build a video platform for Joe Rogan because it's very important that you watch the light shining off of his bald dome.
He's on episode 1, or is he up to 2,000 yet?
Who fucking knows?
He's been going for so long.
He's been doing it since like 2014 or something.
Yeah, bro culture. I can't believe that, like, of all the places he went, it wasn't Barstool.
He didn't need to. He just totally like parallel eclipsed them.
Well, yeah, he would have brought notoriety to them, which is interesting to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point they did. They needed Joe Rogan. He's never needed Barstool.
Think about being in that position. I really need Joe Rogan.
I don't even think his kids like saying that.
Dad, when you have experts on, can you quit asking them weird stuff? And then when you have comedians on, quit asking them about health issues.
About the coronavirus. Yeah. Dad, how should I put this?
You're an expert in immunology, huh?
You
ever killed a bear?
I need you to give me a ride home today. Are you saying you need Joe Rogan? Please don't make me say it like that, Dad. Can you please just pick me up from soccer? Sure, if you need Joe Rogan.
It's just like a sticking point for him.
He just smokes a spliff to the fucking nub and blows it in her face. Have a great day at school, sweetie.
You know what I will give Joe Rogan credit for is popularizing Elon Musk.
I mean,
like really, like I think people like really liked Elon Musk before, like the bro investor kind of world, you know. But when he went on Joe Rogan and smoked weed with him, it exploded on the internet. It exploded. And that was when like the Wall Street bets community started to get into investing in Tesla, and things took off and went crazy.
Yeah. It's just, he was kind of like a nerd cult figure for a while. It's like, oh, it's kind of a Dr. Venture type thing, like the independent science-minded guy.
I wish he was Dr. Venture. I fucking wish that guy was Dr. Venture.
Yeah, then he just became some douchebag who's hosting SNL next week.
He's a supervillain. Is what he is.
Honestly.
He's not anything like everyone's like, no, he's way better than Jeff Bezos, you know, and a lot of these other guys, Bill Gates and the evil microchipping. No. Elon Musk is that guy who will like send a tweet to all those fucking internet people that says Doge, And then suddenly the price of that fucking goes up like crazy. And everyone sits and thinks that it's funny. And the people who are invested in Dogecoin are like, wow, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. Look how much money this dude made us. And nobody sits there and thinks, how many of those did Elon Musk buy before Elon Musk tweeted about the thing that made Elon Musk more money that he didn't need? Because if anyone thinks that people like Mark Cuban are sitting there investing in NFTs for their benefit, you're a fucking moron.
I knew you were going to find a way to bring it here.
The
To
billionaires.
crypto and NFT, you motherfucker.
Yeah, eat shit.
You sack of shit.
I did it again.
I just all of a sudden had this, what alcoholics call a moment of clarity. Like,
This is
he's
what
talking
billionaires
about
do.
fucking Bitcoin.
No, I wasn't technically talking about Bitcoin. Really, NFTs are more of an Ethereum-based thing.
I'm going to punch you
And
in the
that's-
fucking face.
That's how you know you haven't been paying attention, Mr. Man. That's on you. That's not on me. Not this time.
This is the last episode of the podcast. I hate to tell you. We had to draw the line somewhere. It's here.
I'm 3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah. We ask everybody, what episode did you tap out on? I'm tapping on 117.
I just can't stand billionaires. They drive me nuts.
Of course.
And the bro culture behind them. I don't get where it came from.
I tell you who I fucking hate is Martin Shkreli.
Oh, he's getting out soon or something,
He's
isn't
getting out soon. Oh, God, he just drives me nuts. That
got a-
smug little shithead.
he? He's got a punchable face.
I just want to stomp him.
He reminds me of a kid we knew in high school.
Uh-huh.
And I don't even have to say him because you immediately know who it is. And we're not going to put him on blast because he'd be the kind of person to try and sue you for it.
Or just shoot you.
Or just shoot you.
Just shoot you in the fucking
May
face.
or may not have pointed a gun at both of us once.
You know.
For funsies. Is any of this real?
I'm also fairly
This one's
certain
true.
he tried to pass it off as a Nazi relic, and I just wanted to be like,
No,
I
this
don't
time.
think so. Not this time.
I think that's a weird thing for you to have, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That you're proud of that
Yeah.
says a lot.
Yeah. Not fun.
Yeah.
But Martin Shkreli
Yeah, back to the good stuff.
reminds me of that fellow. He's a very punchable face. He's the kind of guy who goes, I know I'm doing something wrong. I know I'm going to get in trouble for it, but I also know that this system works the way it does. And all I have to do is make sure that I make enough money so I can hire these lawyers who are going to get me this sentence. And when I walk out of prison, I'm going to be worth millions of dollars still. And that's all that fucking matters.
Well,
Well, you can go to Club Fed for what? 5 years? How long?
Well,
has
and
it been?
that's it. It's club fed. But I tell you what you do.
You put him in federal pound me in the ass prison.
You put him in a cell with Harvey Weinstein, because to old Harv, after a while, a saltine cracker is going to look pretty good to
no.
a starving man.
That's not where I was going. I was going, you form the friendship between the two of them, and everybody knows what Weinstein did in prison, and you put him in Gen Pop. And so they're the two, like, they walk out the first day holding hands, like, look at the friends I made, and they just get
Stab.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I would like to think that there's certain prisoners out there that are smart enough to know not to kill Martin Shkreli and Harvey Weinstein, only to maim them. To get them so that, like, oh my God, they have to go to the hospital and they're, like, stuck there for a while with their debilitating fucking stab wounds, but it wasn't enough to kill him.
No, you just carve him up.
Yeah, and then the next time they come out, oh God, it happens again. And they're sitting there going, we think the best thing to do might be to put you in solitary. And then they put you in solitary. You're in solitary for like 23 hours a day.
And you just go insane.
And you go insane. And I think that's what Harvey Weinstein definitely deserves that. I don't know. I mean, Martin Shkreli's a piece of shit.
He's a douchebag. Weinstein 100% deserves the pit.
I guess I'm talking about why why jail is a failure. Why our prison system needs reform, people.
How to build a better jail.
Because that's what we do. Is you just, again, I guess I would probably pick going insane over getting stabbed every time I got out of the fucking hospital. Oh, what's today going to be? Oh, and you just get another one in the line in the cafeteria.
I would take the stabbing because I'm like, it means you guys care.
Why did they put me in San Quentin? I'm from Vermont.
Yeah.
They're going to put me in a medium security.
They're going to put me in one in Arizona so I can be close to Jody.
Jeez. You got to do something crazy to get put in that kind of place.
Well, I mean, I got to do something crazy in the state of Arizona.
Yeah.
Which I guess is just live in the state of Arizona.
I got family in Arizona.
Well,
I know, is it? Yeah, I think it's Arizona, yeah. Like, you should visit. I'm like, it's a dry heat. They're
it's
like,
desert trash.
no, you don't believe that. I was like, I lived in Texas. Of course I don't believe it. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about, but that doesn't make it any better. It's a thing you guys say to lure people down here.
Because you want them to share in the misery.
Yeah.
You're hoping if enough people get here, they'll mound up and create shade.
Yep. Just let the bodies stack.
Let the bodies hit the flow.
Yep.
Yep.
Awful.
It reminds me of an idea I had for a show that I want to pitch to you. We're going to do another pitch time, okay?
I'm ready. Pitch time.
Pitch time!
It reminds me of Chance Time from from the Mario game, Mario
Which,
Party.
as a sidebar,
It's fun. It's fun
grown 30-year-old men, when we're playing Monopoly, we shout that every time a chance card
Chance
comes
time!
up.
To be fair, we are usually pretty drunk at that point. In order to convince us to play Monopoly, we're usually pretty drunk because it always ends the same way, with fighting.
Oh my God, yeah, just nuclear option, world-ending fighting.
Yeah. It's taken so serious. We got competitive friends though.
Chance time
I'm
makes
not-
it festive.
And I'm like just not competitive in that way. Just
No,
not.
fuck no, it means nothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him out. Mitch won, and he just gloated so hard, and I'm like, this is literally nothing, Mitchell.
Yeah. Why does it
You're
matter?
nothing. You're trash.
You're just jealous. You're just jealous you lost.
You're a paramecium on a flea on a dog's ass.
The world is nothing. God is dead and we killed him. So we take Monopoly seriously. But go ahead, why don't you pitch your show? Why don't you,
Yeah.
why don't you pitch your show?
Okay.
We can talk about Monopoly some more. I mean, everyone who's an OG fan of the show has listened to us play Monopoly. You can go find the episode if you're a new listener from the old format when it was the four of us. And we have 2 episodes of us playing Monopoly. And it gets heated.
If you struggled through Monopoly, as we called it, you're an OG. You're a real one.
Yeah. I go back and listen every now and then.
I can listen like 5 minutes at a time.
By the second episode, you're like, holy shit, this is brutal.
I don't know why we thought that was a good idea.
We were going to do a time lapse of the whole thing, and then the camera broke.
It flopped over. Like 2 minutes in, it just went.
You get it, and you just watch it crash. Like, why did it need to be on a jib? Why couldn't he have just set it on an angle?
It was Tanner getting fancy.
Didn't need to be fancy.
Lord Fashion over there.
It's okay. I get it. I appreciated it until everybody died.
Well, we were so psyched about it. We're like, the time lapse is going to be so
It's gonna
dope.
be so cool.
He's like, yeah, here it is. Then it just.
Why? Oh, god damn it!
It's like the claymation thing in Parks and Rec. That's all there is.
Yeah. Stand in the.
I worked on this for 3 weeks.
I thought, no, you don't understand. I thought this was incredible.
I was working on my claymation.
Okay. All right, so what's your idea?
This is all relevant to it.
Oh, good.
Because it's about the decline of the empire.
Of which empire?
Of the American empire.
Of the U.S.
I want to pitch you a game show of sorts. I see it as Survivor meets the Stanford Prison Experiments. It's called Who Wants the Boot on Their Neck? And we see how far ordinary Americans will slide into authoritarianism for cash prizes.
Okay, so is it like, for $500, will you electrocute the contestant B? Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Of course I will.
And we do it. Yeah, it's like Saw. Honestly, you just rig it up, and it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where it increases. You know what I mean? Like the first question's like, okay, if you know parrots, they say Polly wants a blank, and if you don't get cracker, you're fucked. You're stupid.
Well, yeah.
But then it gets harder and harder and harder. And it's like, who was Sir Lord Baltimore? Like,
And what? There's a penalty if they get it wrong, or what? How does the show work?
that's a great question. Maybe you have to join ISIS.
Because I was gonna say it's.
You just get forced into ISIS if you lose.
Because at first it sounded like the kind of thing where like eventually the questions become like, are they willing to do mean things to the other contestants, knowing full well they've got to be careful because the other contestants are going to pick one of them to
We'll
do
do
mean.
it back.
So you just like get 6 people and it's like, okay, Tom, you have to pick one of the people out here to get burned. Like, like you get struck by the fire hose. And and it slowly ramps up until like, who has to smash a mousetrap? And like, if you don't do it, then you're out of the game.
Who's gonna put their neighbor in a brazen bull?
Yeah.
Like,
Who's gonna push one of the people into the rat pit? And like, you do that for an hour and you clip it down and because here's what's gonna happen. It's just gonna end up awful. Because by season 3, that's just hard torture. I'm going on the show and I'm probably gonna get electrocuted and
it's pretty much gonna be torture from the get-go. You
who
don't have to
wants
wait
to
3
torture a
seasons.
millionaire? And you see, you can technically say that because the winner gets $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's why they're all willing to go on the show.
Well, Rory, we can do Who Wants to Torture a Billionaire for you.
Oh boy. That's exciting. I would go if they were going to give you $1 billion for winning a show that was about like degrading, horrible. I'd go on that show.
Well, who wouldn't?
$1 billion.
You know what I thought about the other day?
I'd never be old money anyways. The billionaire class wouldn't respect me anyways.
No, and I don't even respect you now, so
Well,
things aren't going to get much better for you.
Well, I never expected you to.
Good. We're on the same page.
What you say? I'm over here sitting in a onesie.
That'd be cool. Onesie pod. We should do that.
Oh, I've got the little feety pajamas.
Be very comfortable.
Yep.
That's one thing that's often overlooked. You know, no one thinks about what makes giant white men comfortable.
Feety pajamas.
And it's feety pajamas
They make everybody comfortable.
with a butt flap.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable in that, then I don't know who you are. Yeah. If the only thing that's making you not comfortable in that is you're worried about how other people perceive you in the most comfortable state of your life.
I mean, you people bought the fucking Snuggie.
Yeah.
What a half measure that was. You looked fucking ridiculous. Feety pajamas, you hold your head high.
Yeah. At least you know. There's no half stepping with the feety pajamas.
No, goddamn, that's a commitment.
Look at these things. They got these little things in the bottom, so I have traction. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, dude, you get the
Scoot along.
traction. Total fucking, you can move across all planes of motion.
I'm the king of my own domain.
Get one with the hood. You
Yeah.
can put rabbit ears or a chicken comb on it if you want for
sure.
style.
I
Do whatever you
I
want.
get the one that makes me a little bear. Oh boy,
A little Rory bear.
a little bear, and just run around like every day is Christmas morning.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Yep.
I'd be a little key cat.
Yeah.
Be a little key cat.
Little kitty cat.
Me.
Oh boy.
Put a little tail on my butt flap.
Yep. And then suddenly you're getting calls from the furry community. You're like, no.
I was just thinking that. I'm like,
not this time.
total fiction.
I hope this doesn't awaken something in me.
We get accidentally grandfathered into the furry community.
I caught a look at myself in a full mirror and said, "Not bad."
Yeah. I just put on the giant foam skunk head and said,
Yeah.
I'm home.
Not okay.
Not at all.
No,
Not even a little
not
bit.
for me. If you like doing that, that's cool. It's your thing. Go ahead and do it. Let your flag fly.
Can you imagine if furries were, again, Korean crab fishermen, shut-ins, and furries? That would be pretty much
Is that our listener
only,
base?
only people that are left to reach out to in podcasting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. So it's the only people left. They don't want to listen to you guys. You guys are talking about how great things are and how wonderful the world is. Isn't everything worked out for us? They say to each other as they laugh, sipping cocoa.
No one can relate. These people are fucking
Well,
miserable.
that's what I don't get about it. I don't get why. What? I'm sure it's interesting. They got. This is the time I'm talking about. That time we both went out and harpooned a whale or some crazy.
And it was Chris Christie.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure there's some interesting stories, but what the fuck?
And it's not like they can go no holds barred. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're still public figures. They have
Yeah.
to, like, fucking Bruce Springsteen couldn't go on there and trash Chris Christie.
Yeah.
And I bet behind closed doors, it's fucking amazing.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's the kind of, he's like, he's not going to tell them the story of that time he was in Atlantic City and he punched the hooker.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like sitting there with like Barack Obama recounting that time that he drone struck a building in another country and accidentally killed a bunch of kids. You're not going to get that story. You're only going to get I remember the time that we all went on vacation and some fun, I don't know.
Yeah, I met the Korean ambassador. It was very nice. Like, great story, man.
Bruce Springsteen have a lot of stories that relate to you talking about international policy, Barack. I don't. Oh, that's very interesting.
No, it's I think it's called Renegades or Outlaws or some shit. It's because they're two guys that colored outside the lines, Rory.
Really? Did he? Or did he just sing about it?
I mean,
and Barack Obama really did he was kind of did the same thing that a lot of presidents do.
Well,
I give him credit for turning the economy around.
sure. I mean, your mileage may vary with any president. The point is, Bruce Springsteen did build himself out of nothing. Give him credit for that.
Fuck that guy.
Barack Obama, when he got to a certain point, was groomed. They just immediately recognized
the second he
his
got out of
potential.
college, he was already getting jobs.
Fast tracked.
Yeah. Henry Kissinger, man.
Hey, take it and run with it.
Why wouldn't you? But at the same time, at the end of it all, being like, I'm a renegade. I wasn't playing by anyone's rules.
Yeah.
You made yourself
You literally had to get where you were.
fucking the presidency is all about populism now. It's been that way for a while. It's all about the popular shit. We had fucking Trump for 4 years, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all about popular hatred. So where the fuck do we go?
To the Skimbo Lounge. Fuck Springsteen and fuck Obama. Don't listen to
where
that
people
shit.
go I'm sick of them talking about how wonderful the world is. Let's go hear about how bad things are. Get me some Skimbo time.
Let's hear which celebrities are getting obscenely fat.
A sick pigeon hit me in the face today.
Worried I
thought-
caught whatever it has.
Thought, what a funny story to tell on the lounge. I got the pigeon flu now. Yeah.
It's better than weasel lung.
I ate
There's
it.
an inside joke.
I killed and ate it to take its power. That was probably my first mistake.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Let's just be done with the podcast. I say that a lot, but like, let's really be done this time.
Let's just quit.
Just stop.
Just quit. Never come back. Did we get any Skimbo Lounge mascot stuff? Did we check?
Of course not.
Of course we did.
Machado fucking really gave us a good old-fashioned tongue lashing, an old-fashioned ass blistering.
Fuck you, Machado.
Because apparently we didn't check the Skimbo Lounge Gmail. Why don't I do that right now?
Oh, no.
She says there's something in there.
Oh, boy. It's like, for some reason you got sent to the spam folder. I wonder how that happened.
The boohoo hole folder. Let's see. Nope, that is not the one.
Nope, not this time.
Total fiction.
Made it up.
Emily Machado.
Oh, we did have something.
Best 90s. The subject is best 90s theme song.
Oh, okay.
And she writes, it has to be Seventh Heaven. No question. You guys suck.
Seventh Heaven?
She puts a picture of the guy that played Reverend Camden and a link to the story about him being a pedophile. Signed, Get Educated.
I got to say, great story behind that then. That's pretty good. But it's like, even Step by Step was better than Seventh Heaven. Get off your fucking pedestal.
First of all,
look at you on your fucking soapbox, Machado.
Let's dive into this whole theme song thing, because objectively, one of the worst theme songs, Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
Would you not agree?
Isn't that, I haven't heard it in a long time, but I'm going to go ahead and remember the pieces like I've heard of it. Doesn't it end with them saying Seventh Heaven?
Ooh, Seventh Heaven.
Yeah. Argue like, and again, don't get me wrong, Step by Step says Step by Step.
A lot of them say
the best one is, go ahead.
What's the best one to me?
Yeah.
Family Matters.
Of course it's Family Matters. Of course it's Family Matters. I'm not going to say that you're wrong, but if anyone says it's not Family Matters, you better have some goddamn something solid to back it up.
Yeah, you can't. We're gonna need a thesis.
I'd accept sleeper hits like the dinosaurs, like or like fucking Roseanne or some weird thing where I'm like, I haven't heard that in a long time. I'm gonna have to go check that out and we'll get back to you.
What even was the Roseanne theme music?
Roseanne is gonna come back in a couple of years and stop for Trump and get kicked off a show.
She can take a hit from a slow-moving bus. She's Roseanne. She's not a mattress.
Everyone's just watching that for John Goodman. Let's be honest.
At this point, The Connors, I look at that and I'm like, ugh.
No, I didn't even watch it. Who
gives a shit? This is the Seventh Heaven theme song, by the way. Nope, this is an ad for State Farm. God damn it, I fucking hate YouTube, you pricks.
YouTube is fucked. Uh-oh, they got us on copyright.
Okay, that's all we'll play, and now we're safe.
Yeah.
Seventh Heaven.
Yep.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, you are so wrong. And I get it. You're entitled to your opinion, no matter how wrong it may be. But again, Family Matters. Go listen to Family Matters again. And just look at the way they did the introduction, which is always like cast member and like the person doing something. And they nail it. They fucking nail it on that show.
Every single
coming down
one.
the stairs. Oh, god damn, it's so good.
All the sweeping camera shots.
It's
You're doing
a
your
rare
homework. You're
condition.
making a sandwich.
This day and age.
It's fantastic.
Reading good news on the newspaper page.
Now, of course, we've just insulted
warmed my
Machado's
heart.
taste, so the 30 days without an accident board goes back to 0, and a listener falls off.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Look, I get it. You're entitled to your opinion. Seventh Heaven, though.
No.
Telling us we're wrong. And again, really interesting story that came with it. What's his face being a pedophile.
Stephen Collins, big-time pedophile.
I mean, you could probably throw a rock at a lot of 90s shows and find a couple of them floating around in there.
Very true.
They let Bob Saget in Full House.
He's not a pedophile,
No,
is
but he is a pervert. Like
he's a prevert, but I don't know if he didn't come onto the Olsen twins.
Well, no, but I
guess.
mean, like you've heard his stand-up before all that, right?
That's very filthy.
That's what I'm saying. He did that, and then they're like, "We're gonna put you on America's Funniest Home Videos."
Was he doing that at that time though?
Oh, he did that stuff before.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Within a 100% certainty.
I mean, no, but pretty damn
Okay,
fucking
then.
confident that he was doing his stand-up, and then he started to break into the mainstream, and Bob, like he was doing Full House. And then afterwards, because people thought he was like a wholesome comedian, he kept doing stand-up again, and people were like, what the fuck is this? Because he is a dirty, dirty comedian.
What's felching? I don't understand.
And then he would go on to explain what felching is to the audience.
Graphic detail.
So, you know.
People don't know this. Bob Saget, early investor in the Urban Dictionary.
Really?
Total
Not this
fiction.
time. It's like they make money over there at Urban Dictionary.
Tons, gobs of it.
Gobs of it. So many Dogecoin. Yeah, but again, I'm trying to think of a better. See, the question is now, what's the better theme song than Full House?
Family Matters?
Or Family Matters, not Full House.
There isn't one.
Yeah.
Not in the 90s. It 100% it's got the 90s bracket locked up.
Yeah. And then you go back from that, and obviously the other one, it would be from years past.
Cheers.
I was going to say Charles in Charge.
I don't like the Charles in Charge.
Charles in Charge of our lives.
It reminds me of the patriarchy, Rory, and it's fascist and wrong.
Oh, come on. It was great. But no, that was good. Cheers is pretty
So
pretty
iconic.
hit on. That's 80s, though. And wasn't Charles in Charge in the 70s? Or was that early 80s?
I think Charles... Ask Indian Siri. Except it stopped talking to me, like all women in my life.
Oh, no.
Let's see.
Did it too much and it blew a fuse, huh? Siri, what do you think about me? I don't know how to answer this question.
We should see other people.
Yeah. Hello, this is Dave Siri. And just a new one just comes in. Hey, man, what happened to the other one? She doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
What, be your best friend? No, 84 to 90 was Charles in Charge.
Okay, so no, you're right. Cheers. Cheers wins.
Well,
I'll give it to you.
It's very magnanimous of you.
I'll give it to you. It's true. I didn't think of Cheers.
Because I just want to let you know that if I was in the same position, I wouldn't do this for you.
Just it's that wonderful piano.
Well, it's great because, like, look at what we do and look at what they do. Cold open, iconic theme song, show.
Yeah. It's basically, we're Cheers.
Pretty much what we're doing here.
Norm!
How's the cirrhosis, Norm? Not great.
I'm dying. Give me a beer.
I'm sweating hops over here.
I talk a lot of shit about my wife, but then there's that episode where I tell you how much I love her.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful show.
Oh, Vera.
Really beautiful.
It was a good show. Twas a good show. And it gave us Frasier, which I know some people think is a douchebag show, and I agree, but I loved it.
But that was the point, wasn't it, kind of?
Exactly.
It was that Frasier was a douchebag?
Yeah.
Like, if anyone missed that, then...
Niles, you don't cock a Von with a Malbec. Laugh track, laugh track, laugh track.
My favorite episode of that show, and admittedly, I did not watch a lot of Frasier, but my favorite one was there was one where Frasier and Niles are trying to learn how to repair engines, and they become like the class clowns, and they're just like sitting there trying to like do it, and they just fuck up everything, and they're just making jokes, and just basically like the whole role reversal of it. Very clever, very funny.
I like that.
It was warm, fun, at-home humor without the need for cursing.
I don't
Or
like when these
crude
shows
humor.
go blue. Very upsetting to me.
Yep. Everyone go check out that episode. It was one of them. Just scroll through every season of Frasier until you find it.
You're going to have to watch them all. And you should. You should watch Cheers and Frasier, and don't just watch another episode of The Voice.
If I can find Frasier somewhere now, unfortunately, I'm going to start watching it. I'm just going to cut right through. I got to watch that, and I got to gut through the first season of Curb Your Enthusiasm because I hear it gets much better after that.
It does. The first season's got its moments. It's a little rough.
Yeah.
Same thing with Seinfeld, though.
Yeah,
Takes old Larry David a minute to find his footing. Because
Yep.
he's old.
Well, it also takes Jason Alexander a while to like really fall into George Costanza.
He's so Woody Allen when the show starts,
Yes.
dude. It's like total Woody Allen.
Well, have you ever heard the
knockoff.
story that he says about that, where he was like, I was struggling to kind of like try and find what the role was supposed to be until one day he was sitting around at a script reading, at the table read, and he was going, this is ridiculous. George, what he's doing here, like, nobody would ever do this. And Larry looked at him and goes, what are you talking about? I did that. I actually literally did this. I just wrote it into the script. And he's like, and from that point on, I realized I was Larry David, and it gave my character a lot more. Like, I understood it so much more. He started figuring out what, like, Larry David's kind of what he was doing and just started putting that into George, and it became what it was.
And it's fucking
So
absolutely incredible.
Good.
Like, again, pursuant to name a better theme song than Family Matters, name a bad George Costanza moment.
I mean, they're all bad. You
But,
know?
like, not satisfying as the viewer.
I was always, the moment, like, if there was ever any doubt in my mind, when he's got the marble rye on the end of the fish hook and they open the door, I was like, that's it. I gotta watch every episode of this.
The best one...
Bubble Boy's strangling him.
The best one for me was the iconic line, "It's not a lie if you believe it." And that wraps up George Costanza perfectly for me.
So good. It's one of those shows that, like, I didn't watch it as it was happening.
No.
I really didn't. And I'm glad I found it years later. It's beautiful.
when you're able to fully and completely appreciate it.
There's a couple of shows like that. Like I'd say there's Seinfeld. Like Community was definitely a show like that for me.
I feel like we found that at the right time.
Yes.
The old Best Buy.
Randomly in a Best Buy in Boston, Massachusetts. Just been, I don't know. Hey, look, this thing's on fucking sale. I know a lot of these people. Let's check it out. And it was amazing. It was amazing.
It was life-changing.
Is it life-changing? Yeah. No, I love that show. It's one of my favorites.
Because it did open up a whole new like comedy avenue for us. Let's suck Dan Harmon's stinky dick for a little minute.
I mean, Dan Harmon's one of those guys where like, I don't really want to be you. Like, I would not. Like, you've got all this success and you just seem so unhappy and so still like struggling with your insecurity. And like, obviously everybody has insecurity, man, but Jesus Christ.
He was fucked up when we found him. He's doing
yeah.
a lot better now. He's in a stable long-term relationship. He's got his show. He's developing another. He's doing pretty well now.
Well, it was weird watching
when
him
we found him.
do like season of like that Rick and Morty where it ends with, you know, Tammy being evil and shooting, like, and you're like, oh, this is directly tied to his divorce.
Yeah.
Like you could just see it in the right. Here's to opening myself up to new people, and then just everything goes to shit.
And the thing is, there's obviously two sides to that whole story.
Oh,
and he's a flaming asshole.
Well, you watch the documentary on Harmontown, and you watch him like be like he does things that are clearly a joke.
Yeah.
Like
But it's kind of Schrodinger's douchebag, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing that summed Dan Harmon up for me was they do that shot where he's like, tell me something, like he says to his then fiance, like, tell me you love me or whatever, or ask me how I feel about you. And he just goes, you have your moments, and like does that like stupid walk away.
And walks away.
Clearly in jest, but still like the fact that like he set up to have that happen, and you're just, come on, man.
And like,
And
unfortunately, she's not cool with it. It's very funny, and she takes it the complete wrong way.
And she doesn't get,
which
and
is
they
her
get into a fight.
prerogative,
Yeah.
and then they get into a huge fight.
Yeah, exactly. And you go, that's hilarious. But you clearly, like, it was never going to work out.
Well, and men and women are so different. Because if a woman did that to me, I'd be like, I'm in love with her.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's incredible. That was incredible. And again, it was like that one girlfriend I had where I knew I was smitten with her when she yelled out very loudly on the subway, dildo. And then I was like, you can't be doing that. She's like, what? And she said it again. And then I was like looking around, I was like, and then I stood up as the doors open. She just gave me a hard smack on the ass and we walked out.
That's nice.
And I was like, I really like you. I don't, weird moments. But I look at the Dan Harmon thing and you sit there and you like, he's one of those guys where like, he's just saying something because it's very matter of fact, but he doesn't realize how fucking hurtful what he said was. Mm. And you go, that's going to plague him his whole life with relationships.
Well, yeah, and like, I don't know. I hope not.
I don't know,
He's
man.
just going to keep damaging other people, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but
she moved to fucking Ireland after they got divorced.
Jeez. Got right away with from him.
Yeah.
I guess.
Fairly quickly.
Yeah. Well, hey, I would too.
Yeah.
Get that kind of Dan Harmon settlement money, you know what I'm talking about?
He's also apparently very smelly. He's very averse to showers.
Does that shock you?
It doesn't.
Again, he was this stereotypical nerdy guy, you know.
Stinky fat nerd, yeah.
You'd find
Which
him,
was what he was so endearing about him.
Yeah. He's just like, that's what he's speaking to all those kind of weird, misunderstood people in society.
That's another
Which
reason.
is why I'm like, maybe I smell right now. Do I always smell like this? Oh,
little
my
rat.
God.
You smell like tangerines.
Thanks. It's my tangerine shampoo and body wash.
You smell like tea tree oil and bergamot.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shit, I had a thought to bring up and I just lost it.
I know. You had it there for a second. You had to make your little bit. Talk yourself right out. I can't bring you back to
No,
like
you
with
can't.
the idea with the show idea because you didn't say what you were going to say.
It wasn't a show idea. It was just a completely different thought.
I know.
This whole oh my God, I got it.
Oh, good.
Woo! I love when this happens. Okay, I'm going to put you on blast here.
Oh, well, fuck you.
Because you're talking about like endearing nerds that are like good at what they do and insightful and whatnot. Red letter media, man.
Oh, you want me to fucking
You got to shoulder the load.
I don't
I'm doing this on behalf of Emily.
I'm sure you are. I just like something like the review shows I never gave a shit about, really.
But it's interesting. So
Let me talk to you guys for 30 minutes about Resident Evil 4. And I'm like, I'll just go watch it myself.
Don't do the review. Don't do fucking half in the bag.
I like to do reviews. I don't like to watch reviews.
Reviews do me.
Yeah. Do as I say, but not as I do.
Well, it's just, I don't know. I think you'd love, they do a program called Review where they just like go out and talk about all of the stuff behind certain movies and why they work. I mean, did you watch the Freddy Got Fingered one where they were like, it's a Dadaist masterpiece because Tom Green was given a huge sum of money and he made this movie with it on purpose.
Yeah, it's true.
And they just do shit like that. And I told Emily I'd try real hard. So
yeah,
Emily,
so you're putting me on blast on the show.
you can Venmo me $100 whenever you see fit.
Yep. You can just do it through the Patreon, so you can see. I mean, you see pictures of his butthole at the same time.
There you go.
Yeah, that's called money laundering. You're giving him. See, we're making your dirty money clean money. And it is. But make no mistake.
In a manner of speaking,
it is dirty money.
Yeah, you're spending on a dirty, dirty thing, which
you
is
extortionist
pictures
sons
of my
of bitches.
asshole, which is also very dirty.
Yeah, surprisingly, did not think about that beforehand.
Not at all.
But also, you can't take things twice. You got to just go full force.
And let's be honest. I think if most people look at me, they'd be like, I don't think he wipes properly.
Yeah, I think you. That's not the kind of thing I want. Like you're walking, like that guy looks like he's got the dirtiest asshole in the room.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far yet. That's Mitch.
Yeah.
But
Oh, jeez. And you're just like, come on, man.
I don't think he listens anymore. Whatever brings him back.
Give him a hard time.
Oh, I got a dirty asshole, huh? And he starts taking his pants off.
Step one or number one, fuck you guys. That'd be great. I miss the Mitch lists though, where he like wouldn't be on the show and he'd sit because he knows we're just gonna sit and make fun of him for like 40 minutes, and they'd be like, "All right, I've got some things to say." Imagine if he came on the show and he's like, "All right, I watched everything and I have some notes." Like 20 minutes of him just pointing stuff out.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what that means. I didn't write out any context for it. Like, okay, I miss that.
My parents had wine that they were just giving away, and I listened while I was taking care of those.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I wish that had continued was the Vermont rebuttal. Was when we did our first episode back, those jabronis listened, they did one, and it was kind of like playing back and forth like the
nice
first
fun
socially
game of,
distant podcast.
It was like a fun game of tennis, but with words.
Correct.
Word tennis, if you will.
And you're trying to hurt your friends.
that's what I've realized about our dynamic with all of our friends. Is like from the outside, if you were to listen to us all talk to one another, you'd be like, those guys really don't like each other.
They fucking hate each other.
Yeah. But then you go, and it's always funny because someone will always like come and hang out with us for a certain extended amount of time, and they catch on and they try to join in, but they always say such hurtful things. I was like, wow, you don't get it at all. Hey, you can't say that. Only they can say that.
But we come up with creative shit. It's like, Mitch, you couldn't nurture a baby monkey into adulthood and have it be emotionally and physically fulfilled. Yeah. He's like, how dare you? Could you say that to me, you motherfucker? And it's just a bit.
Yeah.
But interlopers come in and they're like, yeah, you're diabetic. And it's just like,
oh my God.
Fuck you.
I've seen it happen a couple of times. And I think it's hilarious, but it's also like, wow, I don't think you understand the game.
Not at all.
Hey, Rory, you should question the trajectory of your life. Ha ha. Like, oh my God.
Always do.
I think I'm going to go upstairs for a little while. I'm just going to have a nap. Put on one of the 3 Farley Brothers movies we have out here at camp.
You gotta get gone. Which one's that? Me, Myself, and Irene?
Me, Myself, and Irene. There was another. Isn't there another one?
We've got Kingpin.
Kingpin is the one.
There's something about Mary. I don't think Me, Myself, and Irene is out there.
I thought maybe. Are you sure? Hank pulled the fast one over.
A little extra cheese on the taco.
Maybe. I don't know. I know like Eastern Promises is because every time we're out there, I suggest we watch it, and nobody agrees.
It's going in the lake.
Come on.
Listen.
One of these days, you guys are going to be like, hey, we were outside going for a swim. What are you doing? Are you watching Eastern Promises? This is the only way I'm going to be able to watch this because no one else wants to.
Just take it home with you. I don't want it.
I don't want it either. I just want to
Fuck you.
I just want to force everybody to watch Eastern Promises.
This is why we play the DVD menu at a punishing volume for 20 minutes on a loop.
Yeah, just wait because one day I'm going to switch out Eastern Promises and you guys are all going to be too lazy to get up and change it.
We're going to have the remote.
Yeah, that's great.
So we're just going to watch the title screen.
I'm just going to set a universal remote on my phone and just switch it with
I
you.
don't believe you're capable of doing that.
We'll see now. Now the challenge is on.
I don't believe the TV's capable of receiving that. It's so old.
No, you're getting a new one. The old one broke.
Yeah, but the one we're replacing it with is also old.
It doesn't matter.
My 80-year-old wife died, so I'm getting a 65-year-old one.
If it works on the same signal that traditional remotes work on, I think I can do it.
It actually doesn't. It uses Korean technology.
different radio waves.
Sorry,
don't you
Rory.
know?
I bet you go to Europe and try to plug your actual fucking products in without an adapter.
What are these holes? I don't understand what these things are.
That is fucked.
Yeah, it's weird. We have different systems. I wonder which one's better, the European or the American Edison plug.
Probably European, if I had to guess,
Maybe.
just because Europeans are better at everything.
Silly
Sex,
Americans.
math.
Sex and math really being the big ones.
That'd be a good one. Sex and candy, but sex and math.
Sex and math. That's a math rock band.
Yep.
Yeah. It's really dirty.
Spoiler alert, none of the people in the band have ever had sex because they're in a math rock band.
Ouch. Taking a swing at math rock.
No one's safe.
God damn it, really? Why did I learn how to play this in 5/7? This is bullshit.
If you want the truth, I am gassed.
Yeah, you're pretty tired.
I'm just squeezed. I'm like at the end of the tube of toothpaste, just willing material to come out the top.
Yeah, it's not good either. It's real bad. Tried to put me on blast. Really fell apart. Real like I would give you like a C+ for that.
I'm getting a C+ for the episode.
I don't think your heart was in it.
Not at all. It's not in any of this because we met up with a fan yesterday.
Yes,
and we basically podcasted for this person for 11 hours in person.
Yeah, we were a little intense. I get like I wonder. Just I was like, it was one of those things where I thought afterwards. I was like, I wonder what it'd be like to meet the both of us. Probably a little too much.
I think it's important that this person met me first
Yeah.
and was kind of grandfathered in slowly.
And then we just spilled our crazy out all over the world. I'm sure the reaction is like, oh, this is what they're always like. Kinda, yeah.
Cool. So they just, for 1 hour out of the day, turn on microphones and then keep doing this for the other 23.
Yep. Now so you get it.
Excellent.
Yep. Pretty much. Talk about random shit. Just the only way you shut us off is you put like a TV in front of us and put on like some Barney or something. Oh,
Yeah.
I love you. It's the only way it really stops. Or if we're particularly tired, which,
And I am gassed. I am a grapefruit that has been rent of all its juices.
Is grapefruit the one you got to be careful to drink when you have medications?
I think certain cholesterol medications, yeah.
Like really fucks you up. Like grapefruit juice can be lethal if you're on certain drugs.
It's the coolest grapefruit juice has ever been.
Well, it's like one of those things you're like, listen, we're going to get you healthy again. But I swear to God, if you drink grapefruit juice, you'll fucking die. You're just over at some party. They're like, let me make you a passion fruit something. You're
Look,
like,
you sea breeze.
yeah. And you're like, well, what's in this? Oh, it's just a little grapefruit juice. Boo! And you just turn into a zombie. That's what actually happens. That should be a great way to start an apocalypse zombie film.
Just grapefruits and Lipitor.
Yeah, just there's some new experimental drug that like helps with something, and they're just at some rager and they drink some grapefruit juice with it, and it turns them into the undead.
That'd be pretty cool.
Whole party gets turned real fast. Really gruesome stuff. Pretty graphic.
Yeah, big citrus zombies. That's pretty cool.
And they're spitting out like kind of like a grapefruity kind of foamy yellow.
Yeah, they're just vomiting fucking pulpy juice on everybody.
that's how they do it. People, the grapefruit, it's so tart.
Their skin starts to get the texture of grapefruit skin.
Would you watch this? Would people out there watch this?
If we made killer grapefruit movie,
Yep.
it's the best we can do right now.
I would watch that. Wow, they really are tired.
Yeah, well, I am redlining the engine right now.
This is what it really looks. Just we listen back. Watch out for the grapefruit, people.
Yeah, you guys gotta understand. Grapefruit people.
Well, if you're tired, we can just cut it early. How far did we get in?
Not far enough. The people
No.
will be pissed.
What are we cutting? Like 5-10 minutes short? 20 minutes short?
I have to cut the reference to Weasel Lung because sold it, and it was one of the best bits from yesterday.
Oh God.
The Weasel Mill.
Yeah, I didn't even hear you make it. I totally went.
You were
off
too
my-
busy talking about pigeons.
It flew over my head. Well, hey, listen, that was important.
Bit stomper.
That was important.
Steamroller.
That's not what happened.
Engineer.
No seller.
Fuck you. I only have rage to fuel me through the last 10
Yeah, I
minutes of
guess.
this podcast.
You're just trying to manufacture outrage.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's okay.
I thought about that once. I was like, if I was really evil, I'd just become a Q person. Like knowing it's all horseshit, but just making really convincing videos about conspiracies.
Well, you got to figure that's what Ron Watkins did.
Essentially.
is he just knew that like if they were gonna get their website, and it's great now that I like see everything because I'm like that is not making them any money at all.
It cost them money. He
Yep.
had to sell his fucking pig farm.
Yep. And I sit there and go, you're just doing this to be obstinate because you think you can cash in on this somehow. It's just any day. And it's just failing them.
I
And that
think-
makes me feel better.
I think they just like, I'm glad they're failing too. And I
Fucking
think
Ron
they
and Jim
just
Watkins.
like the recognition because they show footage in that Q Into the Storm documentary where old Jim Watkins was there for the storming of the Capitol. Not necessarily that he did it. I don't know.
Yeah. But him having that smug satisfaction over what's going on.
People were coming up to him being like, "Are you Code Monkey's dad?
Yeah.
I want a picture with you." And you just watch it, be like, "Oh, yay, Code Monkey, everybody!" And everyone's like, "Yay, Code Monkey!"
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Well, yeah. It's cults of personality, man.
It's
For
also,
them, that's like going, like, Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
yeah,
Why not? Help me get a selfie. You're really tall.
man, I smell what you're cooking, and it's bayberry. This is amazing. What is this, Brute Splash? What are you wearing for cologne?
Oh, he's like, I eat so much cod. It secretes from my skin.
Yeah, it's lovely. I had to wear 16 magazines worth of Drakkar Noir to cover up the smell.
The smell of cod. so integral to his diet. It's just a weird thing to think about that there's just like a whole like subset of people who know who that guy is.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, like, in that documentary, there's many moments like this, but there's one where you just, like, you see how transparent sociopathy and psychopathy are.
Sure.
Because there's this moment where he's sitting there, and I think the documentarian says something like, Q posted again, and Jim goes, "Oh, I don't read Q. See?
Yeah.
I have
I'm
no
not-
idea what's going on." He like
I'm not
points out
political.
like, "This is why I'm
Yeah.
trustworthy," which automatically disqualifies
Well, it's a
you.
bunch of fucking horse
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Sitting there being like, you're a part of all of this. You're losing money over all of this shit. And you're saying, oh, I don't really pay attention to it. I don't really. And then he's at the fucking Capitol. Like,
Yeah.
really? You don't pay attention? Very convenient. You showed up at the right day at the right time if you don't pay attention to any of this. Really, really weird. And that's the thing that bothers me is I'm like, you guys are, they're trying to get to the bottom of all of this, and you are purposefully trying to hide your culpability throughout the whole thing. And that's what's so interesting about it, because it's they're so clearly culpable.
But they want the notoriety of it, and like this one douchebag.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all fucking idiots, but one of the guy that kept burping when the other guy was trying to talk.
Yes.
That fucking asshole. He's just like, "Oh, I want to thank you for creating 8kun to host Q. It's so important." And Jim Watkins is like, "But I'm not Q. You got to. I want the notoriety, but I'm not Q."
Yeah.
So realize, yes, I host Q. I'm not Q.
Yeah.
My son is Q.
And it's just one of those things where you sit there and go, yeah, it'd be super hard for these people to set up a VPN near where they know, the president's going to be, or to have someone they know to like tweet, like, look, it came from over here. I'd be like, also, why do we believe you that it came from there? Like, it doesn't even have to have actually came from there. You're just saying it. Like, you have nothing to really back up or corroborate any of this. It's just so crazy. And then there's that one guy who was involved. Again, a crazy among the crazies. But also just being like, it's all about free speech. But I noticed that the new IP address came through, and it wasn't the same one that Q had been using before. And I tried to point it out, and they were like, shut the fuck up, man. Just let it fucking happen.
Yep.
And you're like, well, that's pretty obvious then. It's just so insane. It's such a weird sociopathy to be like, they're coming to do a documentary. We're letting them come to do a documentary. And the whole time, like, everybody sit there. Everybody knows that it's a game of cat and mouse. And they're sitting there behind the scenes, like, ribbing each other, being like, look how stupid they are that they're just, like, letting us do this,
Well, that's the irony, is like all of these people that have fallen into lockstep with Q, just completely and utterly given money to this, ended relationships, fucking gone
Oh, yeah.
into like bankruptcy.
It's flat earth.
For Q. These people fell for a fucking ruse orchestrated by the guy they used to beat up in high school. It is absolutely fucking wild to me.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's half of the enjoyment.
It definitely is for
look at
them,
how
for the people that run it.
Look at how stupid these people are. I wonder if we can get them to make us rich.
Mm-hmm. I've always been a god. Now I have proof.
Yeah. And you sit there and you look at it and you go, you love the attention. You love the popularity. You're not making any money off of it, so what else could it be? What else could it be?
And like no one knows what they're up to anymore because Q just fucked off.
Yeah.
And Ron Watkins was like, QAnon really was just the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
See ya.
Mm-hmm.
and these people are just scattered to the wind. The Proud Boys picked up some. The 8%ers, whatever the fuck those guys are, picked up some.
Oh, God. There's all those different groups. Like, when the world goes to shit, only this percentage of people are going to be able to survive in the new world, and we are them.
We intend to be them.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. That's half of what all militia groups are in this country, which is really fucked up. The day the government becomes tyrannical, we'll be ready, they say to themselves.
That's why I've been drinking Wolverine semen for vitality.
That's why these dudes, like, they get this community in some rural part of America where they all buy land near one another, and then they patrol it.
It's the whole Clive and Bundy thing.
Yeah.
That or was it Eamon? Was the son Eamon or the dad?
Bundy?
I think Cliven was the dad and Eamon was the son. Or Eamon Bundy is something completely different.
What were you referencing?
It was the guy. It was like this huge. It was like another land dispute with the government between this like compound of
big
people.
Old shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least Clive and Bundy was killed. I don't know who else was.
I've known there's too many of those stories though, man. That's happened so many times.
Yes.
Where it's just some dude in a fucking rural fucking South state, and they're just come and take him, and then the gunfire starts.
Yep.
And just it's weird because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy for people at that point, you know?
We'll fight the government's tyranny by picking a fight with the government.
Well, imagine the more it happens, the more you have evidence. Like, oh yeah, it's not going to happen here because it didn't happen over there and over here and over in this other situation. So and it galvanizes people to sit there and go, yeah, we got to be ready, we got to be careful. And then you sit there, and 3 years later, all the people you know are the part of your the New England militia. We're just sitting there, fucking walking down random trails and fucking like our fucking camo and our bags and our fucking AR rifles.
Eating astronaut ice cream and just wondering
For the day
what the
that'll
fuck
never
we're
come.
doing here.
You're sitting there like, how long you been doing this, Scooch? And he's some fucking 70-year-old dude who's been saying this since the fucking 60s, and nothing's ever happened to him.
They're coming.
But I'll be ready. Like, that's his identity.
Yeah, some people need that badly.
And he's also like, take back Vermont. And you're like, whoa.
God damn it, dude.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. All right, I'm out.
I'm just glad being a podcaster is my identity.
Is this our identity?
It's done so much for me in life.
Yeah, this has really changed things for me.
I fucking hate this. Hate doing podcasts. Fuck you guys.
You're just so tired. You're just so sleepy. It's funny. Oh, he's so cranky.
I'm cranky and I'm acting out. I just want to take a nap, but it's beautiful outside.
Yeah. We're gonna get him a cookie, maybe some sleepy time tea. He's gonna feel better, guys.
There are these really cool.
He's gonna feel better.
These really keen looking. They're called Farhat Sweets. Give them a plug. They're not a sponsor, but it's Middle Eastern cookies and candies and
Little
shit.
Turkish delights.
No Turkish delights, sadly. It seems to be flaky pastries filled with delicious sweets.
With little creams and raspberry fillings.
We'll have to try one after.
Little tart ones. Probably not. That's been sitting there a while.
Well, you know what? If I know anything about people of the Middle East, and I do, those are made to last in a humid, dry climate.
This is not a dry climate.
It's dry in this room.
Is it?
There's no moisture. There's no wetness.
I don't feel dry.
That's a you problem.
Where'd the moisture come from? If the moisture was inside us all along.
The moisture was the friends we made along the way.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
I have no moisture left in my body. I'm just talking, but I don't even know what words are coming out.
Yep.
This episode literally ran out of steam.
Yeah, well, it ran out of steam like a half hour ago. It's okay.
Halfway in, it ran out of steam.
I think we're just tuckered out. This is, again, we recorded on a Sunday, and
it threw off our rhythm.
We already threw off our rhythm a little bit.
We're creatures of habit. We went and had a play date with a fan, and we're just all tie-tie.
So I'm just going to reference them. A fan.
Well, I don't know if this person wants to be named specifically.
Motherfucker.
This was my shot. This was the only reason I hung out with you bozos.
No, that is fair, though. Anonymity until otherwise specified is always probably the best way to go.
Yeah, we can give you retro credit on the next one if you really need it that badly, narcissist.
Unless you're Machado and you call us out specifically, and then which all bets are off, and we come at you like tigers.
Plip, plip.
Seventh heaven. You fucking crazy.
Don't come back here with that.
If you learned anything in this episode, that should be it.
Yeah, you learned correct opinions and some wrong ones, so you know what to avoid.
Yeah, watch out for those. Know how to spot someone who's wrong. Step 1. Is it 7 Heaven as the best 90? All right, I'm not doing it. I'm done.
Self-aborted bit.
I'm not belaboring
to
this
end
point
the
anymore.
episode.
I'm not. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. It is worth noting that I can think
not this time.
every fan I can think of the I don't even want to call them fans. People who just listen out of habit because their dog can't sleep without it on or something.
It's a good white noise.
Probably, yeah. It's all women.
Yeah. Is it?
Women listen to this show.
That's awesome. I'd like to think it's like on their commutes to work or something. The world is not so absurdist because I've listened to these crazy people rant for fucking an hour.
They're just trying to learn the psychology of men who have achieved nothing, how to spot and avoid them.
If I can get through an hour of this show, I can make it through the rest of my day at work.
I'm
no
married
problem.
to a guy like this.
This is
so.
like pre-torture before they go in for a long day at the job they don't like.
Yep.
Down at the Weasel Mill.
Oh, the Lebanon Weasel Mill.
Yeah. Well, for people who don't know, Lebanon is ran. Like 90% of their economy is weasel-based.
That's very true.
Yeah.
They won't let the weasels unionize, but
No.
we're working to change that. Through the proper channels, violence solves nothing.
Baby steps, man. Baby steps.
We're not going to burn down the weasel mill. Or are we?
Companies are people, but weasels aren't. Like, yes, exactly. Fascist.
That'd be a good Talking Head song, Burning Down the Weasel Mill.
I mean, it's a little too close to burning down the house, probably.
Then they should have done that first.
Maybe
it's not my problem.
Maybe instead of them doing it, like another band does it, so they're a little more distanced from it.
Mm-hmm.
Burning
Like
down
Green
the Weasel
Day?
Mill. Or it sounds like a really sad folk song. Like what was that? Like the Mumford and Sons.
Oh, yeah.
Just at one point, right during the middle of the song, they just boom, 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 and that's how they get most of their interesting like drive to their music. It's just that.
Just that breakdown and just
And he's just smashing on that drum.
There was in college, I know we're trying to wrap this up.
We got a couple more minutes out of us. I'm proud of us.
Yeah, we did good. We did good.
We got to where we eked across the finish line. Dude, you came in 8th, guys. We finished.
This is like Mario Kart where you just like spun out as you
Like,
crossed
Listen,
last.
it doesn't say did not complete by the end of my name, and that's all that matters to me.
Hey, at least it also ran. Am I right? What did you do?
Took you 10 minutes longer than everyone else to get over the finish line. That's right, baby, but I finished. Don't call me baby.
I did it my way.
Fuck you. Then you just throw up. Because let's face it, if you're 10 minutes behind everyone else, it's vomit time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more to what's going on with you than
Also,
meets the
you're
eye.
insecure as you're doing it. Am I pretty? Yeah.
No.
A lot of stuff going on in that scenario.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I don't even remember at this
All
point.
right.
Because you moved us so far off from fucking Mumford and Sons. I go, you know what that reminds me of? And you're like, nah, let me do the next 5 minutes talking about a pelican sucking its own dick.
Is that what I said? Wow, that's impressive. I didn't
You
realize my
hack.
mind went there.
You hack.
Hey, you got back to Mumford and Sons.
Fraud.
I'm pretty impressed. You got back to Mumford and
I'm
Sons.
not impressed with anything that happened today.
I know. It's because you're cranky. We're going to get him some warm milk.
Just want to eat one of these Farhat
A
sweets.
little peppermint candy. Oh, he'll feel so
There's
much
no
better.
peppermint in them.
We'll get you one, bud. Don't worry.
Stop.
We'll find you a peppermint candy. It's okay. Don't cry. Don't cry.
I need an Andy's
It's okay.
mix. Do you want to be done?
It's your call.
I think we should.
All right. Probably for the best.
Do you have any plugs, Rory?
You know I don't. You know I don't. You always ask and I never do.
Well, that's fair.
If I had
That's
a plug,
fair.
I'd have mentioned it before now in this fucking train wreck.
Yeah, that would have saved us a lot
Yeah.
if you had something in the back pocket.
Come on down, check me out. I'm doing some stand-up at the Weasel Mill.
Yep.
Fucking-
I'm going to flip my shirt up and just show people my belly, dancing to Gwen Stefani.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the old days.
Yep.
And you can see all that content and more next time on the show. We promise it won't suck. And no, we don't. Not this time. We made it up. Total fiction. So until next time, thank you. Go fuck yourselves. And goodbye. A little salty surprise at the end of this episode. We shook 'em up.